The Nakba, also known as the catastrophe, the disaster, the cataclysm. The Nakba refers to a violent expulsion of approximately 75% of all Palestinians from their homes by Zionist militias during the period of 1947 to 1949. It was a deliberate and systematic act intended to establish a Jewish majority state in Palestine. How many were expelled? Well, that number is between 750,000 up towards 1,000,000, possibly even more. The people that lived inside Israel after the creation of its state were treated as second-class citizens due to them not being Jewish. Since the Israeli state is an apartheid, it discriminates you based upon your religion and ethnicity. Now, you might ask yourself, why haven't you heard of the Nakba? One of the main reasons is that there's ongoing efforts to silence such an atrocity. There's a documentary on Netflix called Farha that depicts the Nakba. It's a story of a young Palestinian girl with dreams to get an education, having to face one of the worst tragedies known to mankind. The movie, upon its release, had pressures from all around to take it down, with 30,000 people signing a petition for Netflix to deplatform the movie, labeling it as anti-Semitic.
We're here in Berners Street outside the offices of Netflix to try and persuade Netflix to take down a horrendous piece of propaganda. It's a fictional movie called Farha, and it's being put out as fact.
It's wrong. It never happened.
Imagine how this would look the other way around. If 30,000 people signed a petition to remove a documentary depicting the Holocaust, imagine the outrage.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, how can I help?
I would like to give this into Netflix. It's a petition of 30,000 names.
No, sorry, sir. I'm afraid you can't help me. Sorry.
Cue the Nakba law. You cannot deny the Holocaust in Canada. Conversely, you are not allowed to discuss the Nakba in Israel. You are punished and silenced if you mention it. This, of course, raised criticism by various international organizations from around the world. During the 75th anniversary of the Nakba, the Israeli ambassador to the UN, Erdan, urged officials to boycott the event, saying that it was embarrassing and the event demonized Israel, when UN officials stated that this commemoration did not mention Israel and only the suffering of the Palestinians. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Malcolm X. There's no question that the Nakba happened. There is only the matter of slowly revising history. Majority of Israelis that you will face that are in favor of Israel have no real moral leg to stand on. Their whole argument falls apart when you mention history. Either they resort to revising history and leaving out important contexts like they always have done, or they will resort to their trump card, stating that all Muslims are terrorists. Like Ben Shapiro once famously said, Jews like to build, Arabs like to bomb and destroy. If you really want to learn the truth, I recommend you take a deep dive into history and learn from the historians that are experts on the matter. Some people that know quite a bit about history would be Ilan Pappé, who's an Israeli historian, Lenny Brenner, who wrote The Relationship Between Zionism and the Nazi Regime in the 1930s, 1940s. Another one to listen to would be Gabor Mate. He's a Canadian physician, author, and speaker. Another one would be Norman Finkelstein. He's a political scientist and author known for his critical views on the Israeli policies towards Palestinians.
That is extremely offensive when certain people are German, and they're also extremely offensive to people who've actually suffered under Nazi rule.
I don't respect that anymore. I really don't. I don't like and I don't respect the crocodile tears the crocodile tears. No. I'm sorry, folks. Allow me to finish and allow me to finish. Listen, sir. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. Sir. I don't like to play before an audience the Holocaust card. But since now I feel compelled to. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother, please shut up. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on my father's side,
the Jews did not take arms against the Germans.
My late father was in Auschwitz concentration camp. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians, not for what's being done.
If you argue that Israel has a right to defend itself, you are arguing for the colonizer having the right to continue oppressing when the victim retaliates and resists. Imagine someone coming into your house, removing you from your room, and telling you to go to the basement or die. Would it be an evil action for you to resist? I would even argue that this analogy doesn't even do the Palestinians justice, because not only do they have to relocate, the area that they relocated to is also being slowly taken away from them due to the forced expulsions that are going on to this very day. A Palestinian family will get a letter in the mail saying that their house now belongs to some guy living in Brooklyn named Yaqub, and you have X amount of times to leave before your house gets demolished and you get arrested. Can you tell me where the justice is in that?
It's easy to yell at me, but I didn't do this.
You are stealing my house.
And if I don't steal it, someone else is going to steal it.
No one is allowed to steal it, يا عمي.